What is up, all my fine, I don't know, what do I call you guys, riff refiners? Because you're watching my Sunday Riff Refinery? I don't know, that's kind of lame. Let me know what I can call y'all. Anyways, we're here with Sunday Riff Refinery number 39, and we're about to write some more post-rock because that's just the ADHD hyper-focus that I'm in at the moment. It's working out for me, I'm writing some bangers, and I've got a whole band coming up with it as well. So it seems about appropriate, right? We've got the GOC guitars, Illumina Modern again. And if I move over here to my Cortex control, because we are using the Quad Cortex again here, we actually have my Grunge Gaze preset that I've made. And yeah, I'm probably gonna piss some people off with calling it Grunge Gaze because who knows if that's actually what it's called. But the preset that we're working with, because the riff I have in mind is kind of heavy-ish, we've got an OD808, we've got a neural capture, which is a rodent, so the rat pedal, with an SV3, which is a bass amp. And I posted a short about this recently, and it just blew my mind that I was accidentally using a bass amp this whole time, although I am going into a guitar cabinet. And so we are using a 4x12 Zilla custom cabinet on here. So it makes sense, it's basically just a really good clean amp going into a guitar cabinet with a rat pedal in front of it. I did it by accident because I was looking for rat pedals inside of the Quad Cortex and chose one of the captures that also happened to be bundled with an amp, and I was like, this sounds really good. But let's go ahead and put some headphones on and then we're gonna listen to what that sounds like, because I think that this tone is honestly one of my favorites. I'd say this tone fits that style of music super well. Those are what, add 9 chords? Correct me if I'm wrong there. You all know I don't know music theory, but enjoying the hell out of that tone. We're gonna write with it. So let's go ahead and set a cycle to record. We're going to be working at 130 BPM, so fairly slow. And I've got some cool, like, just 4 to the floor kind of beats in mind for the drums too. But let's go ahead and get that initial riff down so we can write those drums. Alright, that wasn't bad at all. For the drums, what we're going to be using is Modern and Massive 2. And I'm just using a random preset on there. This is the Indie Kit preset. I probably won't use this in the final mix for this. It just fit the vibe for now, but I think I need to change that snare. Sounds a little bit too electronic, you know? So let's go ahead and get into these drums here. I think this is gonna be one of the simplest drum beats ever. Oop, that's too fast. I don't know, that's already too much, so let's try... No. Okay, so we've got all that, so let's go ahead, oops, let's go ahead and copy and paste it all too. Drag and drop that, that should work. Okay, that works. Let's go ahead and re-record the guitars to that and we'll double track them real quick too. Cool, that works really nicely. We need a Spacey lead for that, so let's go back to Cortex control and let's turn on what I've been using all week, because I just discovered putting reverb in front of the distortion, and I just feel so lame for not knowing this sooner. But it sounds really cool. So this is that same exact tone, but with reverb before the distortion. So it's very destroyed sounding, and I know shoegazers are gonna frown at me for this because they've been doing this for decades and I had no clue. But it sounds sick, it's really fun to play through. Let's turn on some more reverb and delay after all of that and see what that sounds like though. I haven't done that yet. Okay, that should make for a pretty cool lead for this track. So we got to come up with something spacey. So let's go ahead and just jam along with it on the lead track. So that's that's kind of the vibe that we're going for. Kind of the vibe. We need to rethink this though. So let's try something a little bit higher. I think those notes will work actually. The tail on that's insane. Let's go ahead and flatten that and see if we caught the tail of that. I think Logic caught the tail. Yes, Logic caught the tail. Cool, we've got that. That's not bad. This is a good start. This is a good start. Let me go ahead and save that preset because I like how that sounds with all the reverb on it. Okay, so coming directly after that, what I want to happen is I want it to be a very simple drum beat. So what I've got here is a stupid simple drum beat. So that's what we're gonna work with here, but we need to get out of the guitar actually. I want bass for this. So let me grab the jazz bass because it's in drop D. Okay, this one is gonna be a fun one. So if we go back to my Quad Cortex, I built a new bass favorite and it's using that same exact capture. It's the rat pedal in front of the SV3 because it is a bass amp at the end of the day. And this time we just have a bass cab on it. And that's literally all it is. So if we go down to my bass down here, so we're not gonna track, you know what, let's just track bass for that first part. I should just get it done because it's gonna sound good. So let's track bass for that. Okay, let's set the loop to record for this next bit here. This next bit's gonna be quite a bit more calm because remember, vocals are gonna go on this by somebody that's not myself. So I'm gonna finger pick this and I don't ever finger pick anything, but I need this to be more mellow. This needs to be a super mellow spot. Oh, that wasn't it. Cool, so that's gonna go for a couple actually. So we can loop that again and we can loop all of those drums again. And I think we do it a third time, honestly. For lack of writing anything better for drums right now, we're gonna loop this 4 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And it's gonna gradually build back into the chorus. So we can actually just go ahead and copy and paste the chorus over right now, right next to it. Now we can focus on the bass. So for these last 2, I want the bass to kind of build up a little bit. So let's go ahead and figure that out. Well, first we'll record this one. Cool, so we do the last one here. The last one needs to let it build up into that chorus. That should work. I think we messed up here though. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Yeah, we need to make that intro chorus a little bit longer. So we'll take everything and we'll move it over by 2 whole measures. And we're gonna just copy all of this over to make it fit. All right, so now the intro, which is also our chorus, is twice the length. And we have all of this space here with all of this bass happening. So now we need our guitar back. We've got the bass done for the song. Like, that's kind of crazy. Bass is done. Let's go ahead and grab my guitar again. So now we need to go back to the guitar tone, and that's the Grunge Gaze guitar tone, and we need to turn it to the clean version of it. So let's turn off all this distortion and that reverb, and we need to turn on the Fender Supersonic Channel 1 normal clean capture. We're gonna turn on the utility doubler because I like how it sounds, and then this is what we're working with here. So the plan is to take that just strummed clean chord and have it come in after the first measure of bass is done. So let's go ahead and close all of these up. So that would be like right here, I believe. Let's make this a little bit larger. Yeah, let's go ahead and see how this sounds. think that works. What do y'all think? Does that, I mean, we're going for vibes here. We're not going for technicality or anything like that because I want this to stay super open, because once the singer in my band gets a hold of this, they're going to need to do their thing with it, and I don't want anything getting in the way of what their vocal melodies might be. And then one more. We might double that for the final mix, but I don't think we're going to here. Something like that. I think maybe we do want another little like chord over it, but starting on this one. So what if we did just an arpeggiated version of that? Ooh, that's good. I like that. We're going with that. We're going with that. Kind of faking some modulation there with the tremolo bar here. Let's make it up the intensity for this last. That does it. That kind of works. Let's hear how that transitions into the chorus again though, which we do need to drag out so it repeats. Let's see how that sounds. So let's just start from this last measure and let it go in. That works, man. That works. I'm actually really digging this. This might be one of the longer ideas that we've done, but in the quickest amount of time. This is actually only 26 minutes in so far. That's not bad. Time flies when you're just using these add 9 chords. You know, Foo Fighters really knew what they were doing. So did Nirvana. So did everybody that used these chords. I mean, they're ear candy. You know, they're ear candy. Well, we're at that point where I'm going to go mix and master this, and you're going to watch the playthrough right about now. All right, so what did y'all think? We did another post-rock track. I don't know, this one feels more like grunge. It's really gonna depend on what my vocalist in my band decides to put over it. That'll kind of determine what the actual genre ends up being, but this is fun. This is a bit of a bop here. And I'm loving writing bass a little bit more lately. I think I'm getting better at bass tones. Would y'all say that I'm getting better at that? That was the simplest bass tone I have ever put together. It's literally a rat pedal with an SV3 capture and an impulse response. That was it. These tones are banging. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you don't like them. They're banging. These tones are great. I'm hitting my stride again here. I was in a little bit of a funk for a bit. I started a new job and everything kind of just got thrown out of whack. I think we're back though. I think we're back, baby. Maybe next week is going to be a little bit heavier of a riff because I've got 2 guitars with new pickups back there. And you guys are not ready for how great they sound. We have new pickups that are going in the 8. Those are going to be here any day now. The 7 already has the new pickups in it. And that means we have to write stuff with those guitars. So look out for that. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, especially if you made it this far. That means you kind of like this video and you kind of like my songwriting. So let's go ahead and hit that button for me, all right? All right. Well, until next time, peace and love, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye now.